So right here, I would like to demonstrate the difference in the sanded wood to 150 and 120. So on this side, sanded to 150, and on this side, this is 220. So we'll put this on wet, and we'll let it sit aside a minute. And I have the same scenario with a piece of oak. And I've sanded this side to 220, and this side is 150. Once again, ML Campbell on the product data sheet recommends sanding to no finer than 150. A lot of times we have cabinet shops that tell us that they sand everything to 220. So I thought we'd look at the difference in how that comes out. One is solid wood and one is a plywood.
There are a couple of application items to be aware of when applying a wiping stain. First is to make sure the can of stain is mixed thoroughly to make sure the pigments are fully mixed into the stain and ensure you get the correct color. Second is when you wipe off or remove excess stain, it's important not to allow what we call dirty wipe. What that means is that when the stain is wiped off, you don't allow heavy pigment to sit on the surface. This is critical and could cause bonding issues with your clear coat. The tendency may be to leave a heavy amount of stain on the wood to achieve darker colors or create a more even look, and this is not recommended. Dry times for most of the ML Campbell stain is about an hour, depending on the temperature and type of stain applied.
When we are matching your stains and we have a sample, it's important that you stain and sand it the same way that we do. We have a stain sheet that we ask to be filled out that gives us the information on the wood species that you're using, the type of sanding that you do, how you sand your wood, and that sort of thing. And it's important, like I said, that we have the wood sent from you for us to apply it on. And when we do it, we're trying to match your colors. So there's times that we might leave it on a little bit longer to get that color. And if there's anything unusual that we do, we always pass that along to you. So I think this demonstrated pretty good for us what I was trying to show you. This side right here is sanded to 220, and this side is 150. So with the open grain, it sucked that color in more. I could see a darker finish on the 150 sand versus the 220. So if you were looking for this, and that's the color that you sent me to match, and we sand to 150, but you sand your finished product to 220, and we don't know that, we're not going to get the match exactly like you want it. And here is the same thing with the plywood. This is 220 on this side, and this is 150. And once again, you see that it's a bit darker on the open grain side of 150.